Hello, my friends. Boomy here once again with another video for you, my swtor brothers and sisters. How's everyone doing today in a galaxy far, far, far? It's just never gonna happen. It's just not. I'll do the voiceovers. Away. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all your swtor fun news and sometimes guides and updates right here, right now. Friends, we had the 7.7 live stream this afternoon, and it was supposed to be a very
beefy
live stream, and it was a beefy live stream if you consider it to be over an hour and 18 minutes long and should have been cut by like 60% of the fluff and bloat that they like to talk about in this thing. And with all the mannerisms and the laughing and the joking around and trying to hype things that are awesome. So what we're going to do is, instead of just doing one giant long form 1 hour and 18 minutes of me reacting, because then it'll just become a 2-hour video, we're going to break them up in segments. So we're going to do the most important one first, which is story and what they're going to say about the 7.6 story and 7.7 story. So let's get into it. Let's see what they had to say, because there's a lot to talk about, and at the same time there's not a lot to talk about.
All right. So chains have been broken or are breaking.
I like chains.
Yes.
There's chains and breaking occurring.
Yes, lots of chains. And then no
I actually like her
No
shirt.
chains.
Yes.
Hide your chains. So, quick context setup just before I hand it off to Ashley, just to give you just a little bit of information on Galactic Threads. Just as a reminder for those of you that weren't around, at least when we talked about
this is the
during
part where they
7.6
kind
live
of,
stream.
you know, for anyone who might have forgotten because it's been so long, this is what's been going on. And I will say with this stream, it was far more professional than the pew, 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 pew crap. There were some moments where I was like, oh my God, it's cringe. Just get on with it. But in that regards, it was better.
So Galactic Threads, when we refer to that, what we're referring to is that's the story update that we were working on in the 7.6 time frame. And the reason that we haven't released it again is just that we're missing a couple of critical pieces that we need in order.
This part's very important.
So when we're referring to Galactic Threads, that's what we're talking about. We still don't have those pieces, which is why we haven't released it. But as soon as we do, we will. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about Galactic Threads, is kind of this.
So that's an important thing right there. They're missing pieces, which this has to do with the voice actor strike. The voice actor strike, if you're not familiar, it's been happening almost for about a year now, 280 some odd days, some crap like that, where SAG-AFTRA is on strike and the voice actors are on strike because the union, they're on strike for the whole AI thing. It affects 10 companies, EA being one of them, and Activision also being another one. It doesn't affect Eastern companies because those countries don't need that, and they don't need all the crap that's going on. So that's why the Eastern games are coming out like crazy and not having much of an issue when it comes to voice work. But here in the States, we are having these issues. I mean, we can go down a whole rabbit hole about it. I've been digging deep into the whole thing that's going on, and I have kind of flipped sides on a lot of stuff from what I've found out and what I've read and seen. So, but either way, it has to do about the voice actor strike. They refuse to talk about it legally. Can they? I don't know. I don't know if they can or not, because they can't talk about it for reasons. But this is what's going on. But which is funny, because my little birdie has also said that most, if not all, the 7.6 dialogue is done. And they're missing stuff for 7.7. There's not as much stuff there, which kind of makes sense. But again, at the same time, I think Sam said it well in his stream today, is that they didn't have any contingencies. They don't plan far enough ahead. And it kind of seems like this strike just took them by surprise. Like, oh crap, now what do we do? So there's that. There's a lot going on here, but that's one of the main reasons why. And I think one of the big things what they're trying to do is they're going to lump 7.6 and 7.7 story together, which honestly, I'll wait for that because it'll be a lot longer. It'll be like 2 hours.
7.6 storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we're recapping a little bit of it here, just as a reminder of what we're doing. We're not going to give, again, too many spoilers because you haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But just kind of a reminder of where we're going with the story.
Where are we going?
So in Galactic Threads, we are pursuing Malgus and Shea Vizsla after she broke him out of prison. Spoilers. And then we also have Darth Nose Holocron.
Just to remind you what's actually happening in this game.
What's up with that? Why so many people want it? What's on it? looking at the threat of the hidden chain and seeing where they're going next in the galaxy and what kind of threat they pose. And ultimately, what is Malgus's plans for the galaxy now that he is loose?
Yeah.
So that is basically everything we've covered in Galactic Threads. But because we wanted to show, we're still working on this. We're adding more details to it. I
Good.
wanted to give you a little bit more of a teaser that doesn't give too much away, but it does include something
Lana
that you
Benico's
may
coming
have
back.
spotted in
My
the
dear
Malgus
Lana.
celebration trailers. Check it out.
The Mind Trap. There's our boy. As a hologram with the ricotta cheese Mind Trap.
A Rakatan mind trap. Whoever is inside this prison will wish to escape, and they will try to claim your body to do it. Your connection to the Force will only do so much. I will do what I can to protect
I feel
you.
Lana looks really weird in this one. Oh, she just farted.
So just a little bit more of a teaser. What we get to do, we get to get some quality time with Lana. We get to investigate Rakatan mind traps, which we've seen before in SWTOR. And so who do you think's in there?
I don't know.
Like, who do you think is in there? I think it could be Jadis. We'll get to that in a moment because they said something I thought was incredibly stupid. And I think it goes to what I said in my last video about how SWTOR is very good at trying to build up something like, we're going to keep it a secret. It's going to be a mystery. When we've all known about it for months. But they act all like, surprise, guys. And we're just like, yeah, we know. Why do you think this is a mystery? It's not a mystery, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it's just, could it be Valen? God, I hope not. I think the whole Valen ship has sailed. Let the girl just be dead. She shouldn't, in my opinion, have a redemption arc. It's done. And I'm a big Valen simp, but no. I hear it all the time, and sometimes I just roll my eyes at it. Like, stop it. Stop bringing people back from the dead. That's the problem with this game right now. Or is it Darth Null? Who knows? I think it's probably Darth Null. And I swear if it's the Emperor, I'm going to be so upset.
Chains.
Yeah.
Malgus is like, is there chains in there? Because I'm going to get in there.
Dr. Chains. Yeah.
He's like, is there chains in there? Because I'm going to get in there.
Yeah, and break them.
And I'm going to break them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm going to do. Yep.
So, going off of Galactic Threads, our next story chapter is Master's Enigma, which is what we're currently working on now.
Yep.
Which is a cool name. I'll give him that.
Following the events of Galactic Threads, it is investigating more of Darth Null's holocron. Again, I'm going to stay very light because I don't want to give you any spoilers because you want the build-up. But we're investigating the holocron and really getting down into
the longer
what
this
is
takes for them to
happening
get
with
this
holocron, why
done,
it's important.
there's no build-up.
In addition,
We're like, oh,
we're also
okay.
centering around a mysterious figure that some of you might have spotted also in the trailer.
Yeah.
And more.
Dumb. Yes, it's Darth Jadis. Everyone knows that. I would argue that 98% of the people who play this game know who Darth Jadis is, and they know what he looks like. Some of the brand new players, there might be like 5 who don't, but the idea to think that, this is a mysterious, who is that? To me, it just shows just how out of touch these devs are. They should just announce it. Yes, as you can see, Jadis is returning. Good. That should be your build-up right there. That should be your that should be your guiding star for this update. Is Jadis is back. Here's the build-up. How is he back? There you go. That's how it should be done. These people couldn't write themselves out of a wall if they wanted to. It makes when she said this, I got so annoyed. I'm like, oh my god, how inept and out of touch can you be with your community? Do you even play this game? Do you know your community? It's just like, it reminds me of like World of Warcraft. What sword? I don't know. What are you talking about? There's no sword here. What? That's a sword? Guys, did you know there's a giant sword in Sithilus right now? What?
More of that to come, but literally chomping at the bit to let y'all know
Chomping
what's
at
going
something
on here, because this is really a turning point in the story. Things are coming to a head. A lot of these different threads and factions are starting to come towards the same conclusion.
Yep. Yeah, and worth highlighting, right? Like, not only we've talked about...
And get this, I've already talked with people in the Discord and whatnot, saying that, oh, the story and whatnot's going to come at the end of May or in June. Nowhere did they say that in regards to the story content for the game. For all the other fluff and bloat that they are adding into it, yes, that will be coming at those points. They didn't give it a specific date, but as you'll hear what Eric Musk was about to say, it should concrete the fact that 7.6 and 7.7 story content is delayed for eternity until the Union stops digging his heels in, and companies also do the same.
About unraveling what Malgus's plan are, a deeper investigation into Null's holocron, and it's worth pointing out that if you look at both what was in the CG trailer of Legacy of the Sith, it's Malgus broke in there to get a holocron, and certainly if this is the turning point, maybe that's to reveal some
I also feel like Eric is more of a White Claw type of guy.
Yeah. Now that he's not in prison, he might actually get to see those plans come to fruition.
Yep. And so I know the question that's on everyone's
mind.
There you go. I can't see chat at the moment, but I'm sure this is the question: is when do I get to play these things? And so just to reiterate a couple of kind of bouncing off of what I said on the last slide. So again, Galactic Threads is intended as kind of the 7.6 storyline. You obviously haven't gotten to play that yet. Master's Enigma is intended as the 7.7 storyline. Again, we're missing some of the pieces that we need in order to be able to release those to you. We're just as eager for you to play that as you are. As soon as we have those pieces, we will come back to you and let you know as soon as we can what our release schedule will be.
Right there. Eric Musko said that. They don't have a release date for this. So I don't understand why I've seen on the interwebs that people are arguing about this. He literally just said there is no release date or release window for these stories yet, but they will come back and tell us when that is, if we remember that's what they're talking about. So that argument's done. I don't want to hear it anymore.
We don't have that information.
I already know you're going to put it in the comment section, people. I already know that.
So just hold tight. We'll get that information to you as soon as we can.
Appreciate your patience.
So we do appreciate your
patience.
Very cool.
Now here's something that's
quality of life improvement.
Become
the Eras window.
That's right.
A bit of a sticker.
So let's talk about what it is. Yeah.
So the Eras window is basically a way for you to see all of our story content in the game at a high level, so that you understand where you are in the journey, as well as where you've been and where you can go next.
Yep.
It's a very chronological order of things, and it includes summaries and also links to your gameplay.
Yep. And so just a quick note about
so does my mission log.
The Eras. So if Ashley talks about kind of what it is, let me talk a little bit about why we're doing it, because this is going to be a little bit of a through line that you're going to hear me talk about a lot.
So this is a quality of life improvement that they're trying to do.
When you think about the timing of 7.7 and kind of where we are now, Star Wars Celebration, we've just come off of May the 4th. Something that we see a lot in Star Wars The Old Republic is we see a lot of new players coming into the game. We see a lot of players coming back into the game, whether that's players that they haven't played in a long time. A lot of you watching the stream are a lot of active players, but you might have friends that have come back and joined back into the game, and they might just come back in and go, well, dang it, I was a Jedi Knight, and
where was I?
To be honest, I do that after a week of not playing.
Who am I in this galaxy? And so the Eras window can really help kind of ground you back into where you were in that story journey. And so let's talk a little bit about what that looks like.
So the game is broken into what we're calling eras.
Yep.
And the eras are a through line of story that has sort of a beginning and end, has concurrent characters within these eras. They are
actually, you know what this reminds me of?
I
was just thinking about it now, because I'm thinking about this as like, I'm on the fence with this. I don't know about this. This is just bloat. Can they spend their time actually working on things that are actually meaningful to the game? Star Trek Online does something just like this, where it has its chapters. You can go through it, you can go and play it, and whatnot. However, what Star Trek Online has and Star Wars The Old Republic doesn't have, but people would love for them to do this, and I wish this is something they would do, I think would be a meaningful thing for them to do. You can go in and replay the older content with your at level tune, or your level 80 tune, your end game tune. You can go back and replay those things. You can go back and replay your key missions when you first started out, and you don't have to start a brand new character to do that. That would be a master stroke if Star Wars The Old Republic did that. And it could be, something they can integrate into the system. Star Trek Online has done that, and other games have done that as well. But I think that, this is okay. I think it's good for really new players, but for veteran players, to be honest with you, as a veteran player, sometimes I get lost in this stupid thing because there's just so much. Maybe this will organize it until it actually goes live. I'm going to reserve some judgment on it, but yeah, I'm trying not to be a shtickly old man. Get off my lawn!
Yep.
But the idea is that you can see encapsulated in the summaries each basically large era of the game.
Yeah.
And you can kind of figure out where you were and what you've completed and what you haven't completed.
Yep.
And so, yeah, just kind of figure out where you're at.
Yep. Yeah. And again, the thing that's really important to understand is these are not comprehensive novellas that you can click and go, onslaughts. Let me read this 75-page explanation.
No, that's like Final Fantasy 14.
Kind of, as you can see here, it's meant to be 2 or 3 paragraphs that you can read very quickly to go, oh, got it. Here's what's happened very quickly to get me a very 2 or 3 paragraph synopsis. Got it. Click into my mission
Shadow
log, take
Revan,
me back
I
to my
miss
crit
you.
path mission and get me right back into the game.
This gives you enough reference point, too, for when you jump back into your mission log and you have the mission and where you're going. It's like, where does that fit into all of this? Where does it fit into these different eras? And really just gives
I don't
you
hate
a
it.
bird's eye view of everything.
I just wish there was other things they would do with their
especially if you
time.
have a lot of different characters and you don't remember where each of those characters are.
Right. Yeah. And for those of you that are super active players, right, it can be helpful for you as well. Like I can't point to Keith because I can't see him behind all the monitors over there, but like he jumps to his 19th character that he hasn't played in a while, and he also could just lose track of where he is in the story that he's been playing. Even being
I don't
very
understand how
familiar with
people
all
can
of
do
the
that. I don't
characters
have
he's
that type
playing.
of time in
This
my
can kind
life.
of again ground you in that experience where you are inside of the narrative. Yeah.
Some people are asking in chat if decisions are listed.
No, they're not currently.
Well,
Yeah.
you might want to.
Oh yeah. So the question that came up in chat is, are decisions listed? No, they're not currently. This is meant as an
They would do
overview
well to
of where you are
add decisions in
holistically
to
inside
see
of the story.
how
It's
you
not meant to be
decided
that
on certain
granular
things,
and
whether
specific. It's just meant to give
you're
you
going full dark side or full light side, or you want to play a gray Jedi, or you want to play a purple rainbow Jedi, whatever you want to do. But I think that would be great for them to put that into this. I know that was a really big part, like a bit of contention with Sam earlier today, and I agree. They should have that in. They should implement that in. So if that's something they do later down the line, I think that would be golden. I think that would make this quality of life change even more worth it.
a high level of where you are within the holistic SWTOR narrative to get you back into the gameplay.
And I think
Do you think they sit there going like, oh God, what's Boomy and Sam going to say about this crap? I'm not going on the internet tomorrow. I just know those meanies are going to say stuff.
I spotted in that one era that is unlocked a link to the mission log.
Right.
So you go straight from the summary to your mission.
Right. Excellent segue, because that's something else that we've made some improvements into. So as you can see here, this is what the mission log looks like right now. And again, one of the things that we really wanted to focus on is kind of improving that experience of how a player can go from the game of I want to get back into the gameplay as fast as possible. And especially again, for that player that's new into the game or coming back in, there's a lot of things that could be confusing about that experience. I'll give you an example of what one of those would be is there could be a lot of missions
I'm just like
that
staring
show
at it
as
like, what?
purple, as an example, right? Like we overused it for
I blanked
flash
out,
training
man.
missions and a bunch of things like that aren't your crit path. And so one, we updated, I'll give you 3 quick examples and you'll see this in both the before and after. First one being we reduced purple usage so that it mainly focused on crit path. Second thing,
Good.
there's a bit of
I
shuffling around and reorientation
that.
of where things fall within the mission log UI itself, mostly just for easier navigation, so that important information is easier to find and easier to navigate through.
Never a
And
bad
the third
thing.
one, and this one is kind of just a nice, easy slam dunk clickety clack, which is inside of your details section. If you say, hey, I want to go to the Minbusa district, well, imagine if you could just go click to galaxy map and then travel to it instead of having to navigate to an extra UI. So again, this is just a nice, easy way to, if you want to
Not
re-onboard
horrible
or
again.
move through
I
your
like this.
narrative, you
This
can
at
go,
least
"Give me
this
an
has
overview
needed
of
some
where I was
improvement for a
again.
while,
Take me
so
directly to my mission log to get
I'm
me
okay
to
with that.
Take me back directly to travel and get back into the gameplay much faster.
Yeah. overall just a nice flow to get you back on track, and so you can pick things up where you left off.
Yep. So that kind of walks us through where.
And a main reason they're doing this is because they're really hoping that more people start coming back into the game after the celebration little tidbit that they did. I was kind of thinking about how like they're still having to delay story, but they put this giant teaser out there, right? It's one of those things I feel like with this team, especially now with this stupid VA strike going on, they are damned if they do and damned if they don't. They need to put something out there to get our excitement up. They need to put something out there, as they say, build things up, so that we stay engaged in the game. But at the same time, it's hard to keep that thrill and that engagement when you constantly have to keep delaying stuff. And when we already have the issue of there being such long periods of, drought between storylines, and this is just making it worse, because by the time I think everything gets said and done, it's going to be probably over a full year until we get actual story content for this game, which really sucks.
Where we are with narrative in today's game, era's window, and updates to the mission log.
Yep. I hope to see y'all soon, hopefully, to talk more about story. So that's it for me.
Yeah.
And gonna pass it off to Musco and Bryant.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley.
All right. Thanks.
So there you have it, my friends. What we just watched was more or less this is what's going on with story. This is what's going on with the Eris thing and the updates to the mission log at the tail end of it. But really, the most important part of this whole video is the story part. The most important part of the game is story. And I was watching some people, what they were saying in the Twitch chat while I was rewatching this, while I was writing notes and bullet points. And there were a lot of people like, but story. And, there are also people like simply like, guys, it's about the voice actor strike. Jeez. Yes, it is. But I still feel like if they just were more transparent about this stuff, I think there would be more understanding in the community. Right now, it's a contentious thing. People are split in half. People want story. We're like, why the hell is everything being delayed? Why is it taking so long to do any of these things? Why wasn't there contingency plans? You guys say you do all these things far ahead of time. You need to do your voice work first, right? Then you start doing your animations into it. What's going on with that? I mean, there's so many variables going on, and I kind of really feel like Star Wars The Old Republic, the dev team, the current dev team for this, just got like deer in the headlights, right? They got caught with their pants down. They didn't realize, or like they're not built for this type of stress that's coming in, right? Where other game companies and stuff, they try to think about how they're going to make things better. I've even seen people talk about how instead of waiting on the voice stuff, just give us some of the KOTOR styled cutscenes. Yes, we decried it like crazy, and we didn't want it when you pushed it on us, and that became a whole kerfuffle. But I think at this rate, it would be understandable. And then when you're able to get all that voice stuff in, and then you push that update, you let us know, and let us be able to go replay the stupid thing so we can hear what they actually had to say. I am actually one of those people. I would be okay with that, just to start releasing some stuff so we can play catch up, because this story is never going to end, and it needs to end, and we need to get pushing on forward to the future, whatever that might actually look like. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think about today's live stream? I will be covering the tail end, the most important outside of this, but the other stuff that's happening as well with the character modernization stuff. I'll be covering all of it in different videos. I'm splitting them all up, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this one in particular, or any of this stuff. I don't care. Just let me know. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that bell notification button for all the times I put videos out, and when I do live streaming as well, it happens. And of course, if you want to get early access to videos and you want to get a monthly podcast, which I have a new one coming out very soon, why not become a member to the channel? It helps us out quite a bit. And of course, either way, my friends, Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, become part of the family here at Boomy Nation, to Freak Show YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind, spout community, and don't forget to spay and neuter your Wookiees. We'll see you later, my friends. Good day.
Epic tales on every shore. Hit that button, ask for more.